Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I use Squarespace to publish my photography website because I like how simple and straightforward it is. I like how clean and minimal and well-designed their templates are. I think they're absolutely perfect for showcasing photography or really any kind of creative work. And the best thing about Squarespace is that everything is taken care of for you. You don't have to know anything about coding or web design. You don't have to hire someone and spend a bunch of money to, to build a website for you. Squarespace has all the tools you need. You can absolutely do it yourself by heading over to squarespace.com/Dominey and signing up for a free 30-day trial. And then when you're ready to go live, use my last name, Dominey, to save 10% off a new website or domain. Today, I'm photographing a unique landscape within the Navajo Nation, the largest Native American reservation in the United States, spanning nearly 27,000 square miles across 3 states. And though it lies within U.S. borders, this land belongs to the Navajo Nation, and I am merely a visitor here. For that reason, before setting out, I stopped by a local Navajo office where they told me it was okay to visit as long as I left no trace and stayed on designated roads. But to me, this isn't just another remote desert in the American West. It is a place with history and cultural significance. Coming here, I merely want to capture its beauty to the best of my ability and leave it just as I found it. Absolutely phenomenal canyon here in Arizona. This is just beautiful and also a little bit terrifying, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I don't like heights very much, and this definitely makes me a little bit nervous because the edges here along the edge of this ridge. I mean, you can kind of look underneath them and you can see that, they're a little bit thin underneath, that there's been a little bit of like erosion underneath there. And if you get too far out here to the edge, well, I'd be very concerned and very worried about it breaking off. And yeah, I don't think I don't think someone would come back from this. In other words, so I'm doing my best, and I'm trying to be very careful and not get too close to the edge. I'm trying to stay back a few feet here. It's just fantastic. The light keeps coming and going. Right now the light is out there in the distance at the back end of the valley of this canyon. But then every now and then it'll peek out and it will illuminate and backlight some of these ridges that are down here in the foreground, some of these wonderful white sandstone shapes and organic forms that we have down here in the foreground. And it'll add a little bit of backlight there, a little bit of drama, and then you get additional light out there in the distance with a little bit of shadow in between. And that's the thing that gives the image depth, really, is when you have, like alternating bands of light and dark, more of an incremental kind of a thing where you get this nice stair step and gradation of light from front to back. And that's kind of what I'm waiting on here. I'm waiting and hoping that the light comes back here because it was doing it just a minute ago, but then it all got dark. And so, hopefully it'll come back. But, hey, at least it's a second just to kind of, take in the scenery, and just such a magnificent, absolutely amazing canyon. This is just phenomenal. I've never been here before. This is my first time being here at this place, and it's it is something. It is a different world. Morning. It is cold. It is very cold and windy. So this over here behind me is most likely going to be the main subject of interest. I think this is the place which is going to be catching most of that light coming up over there in the east. As you can see, we have some pretty nice dramatic clouds moving overhead. Not exactly sure how this is going to pan out, but that's all part of it, right? Just have to show up, be ready for whatever happens, and hope that something happens. We'll see. It snowed last night. We got some sleet, some ice, just a little sprinkling of snow across the landscape here. And it is cold, but not too bad. I'm at least prepared for it, so that's all right. But this is so great with the sun coming up, rising over this way. And thankfully, I'm not shooting directly into the sun. It's at least a little bit over to the side, and the sun isn't directly behind me either. So beautiful, beautiful morning. getting a little bit of golden light out there from the sun coming up, and a little bit of a sprinkling of snow on everything just to give it a little extra something. And I just love the stair step of light and dark and light and dark. Oh, well, of course, broke a filter doing that. One of my 3-stop NDs, it just shattered when it hit the ground. It's a little bit dark right now, but I think it's absolutely just fantastic. Let me make sure I'm framing this right. I mean, yeah, look at that out there. You can see that there's some nice crimson and some red colors in the base of some of those little mini spires and little hoodoos out that way. And then we have a really cool foreground here. This nice little bit of erosion right here, which I don't know, maybe there's a way I could frame that. But my theory is that later on tonight, or later on this afternoon, some of this snow is probably going to end up melting off by then. But the sun is going to be on the complete opposite side. It's going to be over that way. And I think we might get some light down in here, some nice side light coming from the west and illuminating some of this valley down in here. That would be great, because then the light would be on the other side and they wouldn't be quite as backlit as they are right now, and not quite as dark. Hopefully a little more golden light on the front of them. But that just remains to be seen. But all across the valley, all across this canyon here, all these spires, all the way across, it's like a giant cathedral or something out there. It's just, the architecture of it is just, it's just amazing, just really, really beautiful. But as far as right now goes, I think I'm going to take a break for a bit, because I've been doing this for a while, and the light is starting to not get so good. So I think it's time to eat something, maybe drink something warm, and make some plans for later on today.